Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my shop here in Northwest Colorado. What I'm going to be doing for you is a little reboot on my channel, and we're going to be starting over with a new 3D illusion that I designed up. This illusion is using 7 different types of wood: yellow heart, African teak, angelique, Osage orange, mahogany, bloodwood, and wane. When I design my 3D illusions, I use isometric graph paper and imagine a light source coming in at one direction for my lighter side, causing a shadow on one side, and then totally dark on the opposite side. To come up with my size of my plate, I take my lines, these are essentially your rips, and divide that by what I want for a basic diameter, coming up with 11/16 on my rips to give me a 12 3/8 diameter. I've gone ahead and prepped my material before this video on the table saw, bringing it down to a rough dimension. I then finished it up to final dimension through the surface planer. After that, I marked one side of each piece for final assembly to keep all grain orientation the same. To get my pieces, I have distinguished the pieces with a single dot. The single little equilateral triangle would be a single. My doubles are 2 equilaterals put together to equal a parallelogram, coming up with all the numbers I need. Over here, I have set up my compound miter with a piece of sugar maple for a stop, with a relief to collect any dust back here. Also, it allows the piece to fall back, giving me a nice solid stop. To set up the distance on the stop, I made sure that the length of my cut is the same as my piece, all the way around. To check the angle on that cut, you can then take 3 pieces, put them together with a rubber band. Make sure that all points are matching up, and you should have no gappage at all. I can then proceed on cutting all my big pieces into little pieces. We'll then finish up gluing all those little pieces back into a big piece. All right, that completes all the doubles. So what I like to do here is I just give it a light sanding on my cut for any blade wobble. If it looks good, don't worry about sanding it. Next, I'll set up the stop to cut our singles. Cut them up and we'll get to gluing. I've got the stop set up to cut the singles here. Pretty simple. I just moved the stop forward where this relief was for the doubles. We can then flip our rip over, bring it forward and lock it into place. The important part about these singles is that your singles match up with your inline grain to your parallelograms. There we go. We're ready to cut some singles, and then we'll form our center star. Start gluing. Yeah. All right, so we're on to assembly here. This is a pretty simple process. I follow the design, laying out accordingly. I use rubber bands for my clamping. This way it doesn't cause compression on any of my points on the grain. I'll leave the clamps or rubber bands on for about 5 minutes, in which time I'll lay out my next row and pieces. After I take the clamps off, I'll clean out excess glue really well with an old chip carving knife of mine. This is about it. Pretty simple, straightforward. So a couple of reasons why I stop at the parallelogram and don't continue into a trapezoid during assembly is the simplicity of only having two shapes to deal with during glue up, which makes it easy to work from the inside out and using bands and not having the obscurity of a trapezoid pointing out from one side and not having a tight joint. Second reason I think it's important is being a carpenter of 40 years, it's nice to achieve grain alignment across the entirety of the piece for each color. Enjoy the build. Yeah, doggy, we've got our blank all glued up. We are ready to attach it to our sacrificial block. Here I'll take the diameter and put it in the center of the design. This way I'm guaranteed to have my design in the center of the plate. Exactly. I'll then bring up tailstock with a sanding disc. Match that up. And once I like alignment, when I'm happy with alignment, I will then duct tape my blank to my sanding disc, which is simply a piece of MDF mounted to a faceplate with sandpaper on one side. That is mounted to the tailstock through use of a threaded live center. The sacrificial block that we're gluing it to is simply a piece of 1x pine mounted to another faceplate. And this allows for X, Y, and Z all to line up. Here you'll see the use of a straight edge to ensure that there is a slight concave to the bottom of the plate. This will allow for the plate to sit flat. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Finished product of our new 3D Illusion design. I was really happy to share this with you guys. I had fun build. Hope you all took out something from it and get the chance to build your own. Be safe out there.